Number 2, Bad Batch episode 2, Cut and Run. The crew of Clone Force 99 heads to the planet. I originally had you reading this, so I wouldn't have to read this planet name. Salukami.
Yeah, it's like a meat. An Italian meat.
Sounds like an Italian meat. Salukami. To meet up with deserter clone Cut and his family. Cut explains that the swift transition of Imperial rule has created problems for them, and he is looking to get his family off the world. Meanwhile, Omega sees a planet that is not Kamino for the first time and starts playing with Cut's children. In a classic, I'll get the missing toy gambit, Omega wanders outside the safety of Cut's family farm and is attacked by an animal, but before the critter can take her down and is run off by the grown-ups. The team forges a plan to get Cut and his family some fake IDs and get them off world. And Hunter decides he is going to ship Omega off with him because traveling with his crew is no place for a child. During the skirmish at the spaceport, the crew are able to get Cut off world, and Omega proves her worth to the team while also running back to Hunter's side. So the crew narrowly escapes capture. He does this shit on purpose. You know he does.
Yeah.
Anyway. cut that out. What do you think of this episode?
I watched it twice. The first time I watched it, it was just, it didn't, I don't know, it was very slow to me. And, I love Star Wars and I really think this show is going to take off. The second time I watched it, it was still slow to me. I thought maybe I was just missing something. It was very slow until the end. I thought the end was really cool. The action scene was and then this is all set up and I get that. There's just that first 20 minutes really took a while for me, I thought. So I understand the setup. And I have positive things going forward for this. I don't think this is a sign of things to come, but I will say it was a little disappointing watching that for the first 20 minutes. I'm just like, is anything going to happen? Or is this just, well, the girl learning to play with other kids was sort of funny and stuff like that. But it was just, it wasn't as exciting as I was hoping. And there wasn't anything that was super intriguing to me the first 20 minutes. And then it became super fun. And I liked the end. So it made up for it. The end made up for the first part of it.
I think that from what I understand of the Clone Wars, and we did watch some Clone Wars episodes. I got my son on that after we watched this week's Bad Batch. I think that this is a trope of just cartoons in general, especially anime cartoons, but Western cartoons too. There's just filler episodes sometimes. And I was hoping that wouldn't necessarily be the case with a season of 14 episodes. And we don't know if this is going to be multiple seasons. We don't know if this is just a one season thing. The one thing that I didn't really care for, and I saw this was echoed, I had this thought and then I saw it was echoed in some of the reviews that I read, was that it was a little bit too soon for that dynamic of, we got to get this kid out of here.
Yes.
Father and son type or father and daughter type thing. I think a couple more episodes of her being kind of a pain in the ass before that to really establish, it just felt like it wasn't, when she comes back, it just felt like it wasn't necessarily earned.
Right.
Just because it's so early on in this. It was you could see it a mile away. As soon as he says, I'm going to send her with you. It's we all know what's happening. She's going to run back to them somehow, or she's going to sneak back, whatever. I'm just, I do think that this episode was a little bit filler. And I'm just interested to see where it goes from here. I know we talked a little bit about last week with Fennec Shand, one of the Mandalorian characters, showing up in the Bad Batch. I do think that there's going to be cameos from other established Star Wars characters, as far as maybe some Vader. We've already gotten Tarkin, some of those characters to kind of fill in the gaps a little bit. I'd be interested to see, how they potentially connect this to Rebels or what have you. But, like you said, kind of a slow episode, kind of a filler episode, but, at the end of the day, it's a cartoon.
Right. And it was still entertaining to me enough. Like I said, the last 10 minutes made up for it, or however long that last part was, definitely made up for it. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. And if that's, I don't think I don't think every episode is going to be like this. You just you.
Right.
I understand that you need to have episodes like this. I
Yeah.
totally get it. It's just when you come. I think the thing was too is we just came off Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Where like that last episode was nothing but action and
Sure.
chaos, and so I was just kind of revved up. And I've been watching a lot of like actiony movies
Yeah.
lately too, and so I think that was just one of those things where I was just like such in a like tense mood of action that when I didn't get it, I was just like, oh okay. This is just
Yeah.
this is actually how TV shows work. And
Yeah. Yeah. For the most part.
So-
I mean, that's just one of those things. I mean, if you watch, like, this is, you know, going back, but like if you watch like Dragon Ball Z back in the day, it was like you'd have a story arc that was 35 episodes long, and half of it's just the two characters screaming. You know what I mean? It's just like that's just something that like cartoons just have filler. You know what I mean? So yeah. The thing about this though is the thing that remains the most exciting thing for me about this is that my son's into it, and I feel
Right.
like this is just, you know, like he was excited. Like he was like, okay, I know that it's Friday. I know that show's on. I know I get to watch this with dad. And so that was really
Yes.
cool. You know, cool for us to, and my daughter's like, she's like present while this is going on, but she's not like as into it as he is. So, but we'll get her there.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Season 2.